Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's more Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Last time we went like time skipping or like back in time. Phoenix Wright's on trial and like Mia Fey's alive. Now let's get back into it. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
The next person is someone who witnessed a crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
I don't think that's how I did his voice, but he just has slimy skis ball vibes. I'm gonna have to do the most southern voice I can. What's with the stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I've been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that. Now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be so nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
And I'll bash them with Sir, what happened to impartiality? I love how they look straight at me when they say that.
Thank you for calming my nerves.
She gives Southern Belle, like, Snow White vibes. Maybe it's the parasol.
You're all so nice, I almost feel right at home. I'm not at all.
I love how just like wishy-washy the judge is sometimes. It's so fun. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation?
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine. Oh, sweet baby geez. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake. What is with all the references in this translation? Like, I know this is like taken from Japanese, and there is no way they are referencing this in Japanese.
Sir?
Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. Yeah, it's 1000% her. You can't tell me otherwise.
I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly, just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion could burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. But I would never.
Hold it! That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey.
What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Wait, but wasn't there the entire thing, oh god, there was something with the visions or something like that, the other Fae girls could do? Because, it was a whole thing with, Maya and Pearl. But I don't remember if Mia had that, because it's, with the pendant that she has. Been planning to go after... I'm gonna press that. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Beanie never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. But Phoenix literally stated that he'd pushed him. We have proof of the push. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Wait, do we have the contradiction? Let me double check. Wait, we don't have anything that proves that he pushed her. We're gonna leave it alone right now because we don't... I suppose there's has... we know. Let's just press everything else. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department? If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building?
Well, I'm just in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry.
How wonderful! It's a humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Haiku, not haiku. Fuck me.
Nothing left to do when a man reaches this age. Sleep is his best friend.
That's supposed to be poetry. Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through the back area.
Yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front door. How else would you enter? Teleportation? So who is this Dougie person?
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago.
So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Fey.
I'm trying to your level. Goddamn. Why am I being demonized here? Please, go on. What did you see next? Okay, Dougie got wobbly, collapsed. We have a contradiction to that. But the thing is we don't have his... we have this, which doesn't really work. The push coincides with it. Unless we have this. Wait, we can use that. Hold on. Because we have the whole... But it doesn't say specifically that he pushed, but we have that information.
Objection!
We'll use this and see if this works. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't really see any problems with it. Actually, That's correct! That was right, though, because it's in... Oh, I think I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Claps on his own. He never touched her. Okay, this is how we show the contradiction, I think. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne. So let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never. Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger this witness. But I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition.
You literally tried to prove that Phoenix killed him by pushing him. She's saying she never saw him touch. I'm literally using your own bullshittery. We just don't have the evidence. I don't know if we technically have the evidence or not, but we literally have this.
That is she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. Okay. I thought we would immediately have to show the proof. Okay. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual.
That's also wrong, because we have the whole thing with the loud sound. Okay. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
And that's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything outside of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. But we have the proof. Objection! You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that.
Where the hell were you when he was giving his testimony? Oh my God. If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could have failed to make an impression. Also, what is the jellyfish looking thing around her?
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up.
Again, but there was a live wire and there was rain. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, the school needs to be shut down.
But it seems as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in his testimony.
We literally had contradictions, but like, okay, really, pop off. Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Is it the lightning? Is it the lightning? Because we all thought that it was the wire, but if it wasn't the wire and it was electricity that killed him, could it be? Is it that? Because we don't have anything else. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right? Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Oh. I must admit that thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt. It appears the defense might be maybe onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty charge now if you don't interrupt me.
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on the day of that location.
So now you have just proven that she lied. You just proved that your own witness lied.
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence? Mr. Payne, what is this evidence? Why aren't you breaking this up in discovery, you asshole?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their lab that day. Allow me to read out the court testimony to the pharmacology students. All equipment in this lab lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable.
How did it get severed?
The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words,
the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. But again, you've literally proven that your witness is lying. That's all you've done.
According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables have become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
But they're up in the sky. They aren't on the ground. However, there's one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fey, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor,
I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum.
If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
I'm not I don't think... it could have been him.
But here's the thing. Okay, this is the issue I'm having. The fact that he's holding it. If he pushed back, then it could have landed there, but... my gut is saying Dahlia. My gut is saying Dahlia. Could it have been the umbrella that hit it? But if he fell on it... Like this... It feels like... I'm genuinely not sure, though. Okay, so I had to look because I was trying to figure out, because it's technically Phoenix is the only one that it works for. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. To defend his testimony, he said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that The lab equipment lost power at 2:55, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that conclusion, and it was the very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order! Order in the court! Lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done it.
Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little bit different than I remember them.
What the?
Please, just once more.
Why is my water bottle having to be the loudest thing in the world? Because the thing is because I'm having to talk so much during this and do all the voicing, I'm like, I have to take drink breaks, and it's like just so loud.
Please, may I testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge.
Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. But who did she murder? That's what I want to know. Because that lock, it has to, like, this thing has to have some sort of evidence on it. But what?
The truth is, Beanie pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Beanie caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute.
He wouldn't have been able to push him from behind because that doesn't make sense. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that's when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
But there's no evidence on the back.
I'm so sorry, Beanie, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fey, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Pushed him twice. First was into electrical pole. And he tried to run away. Here's the thing. I think I can do this. The way he's lying is not necessarily running away because he's going towards the wall. Now, I don't know if that's going to be necessarily a factor. Feeney caught up, crashed into him from behind, cable snapping. If he crashed into him, he would have also been electrocuted. That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
No, there weren't. Madam Fey, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said he crashed.
Also, he would have been electrocuted.
My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
But he would have been electrocuted. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted?
I'm sorry. I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. The fact that Phoenix would have been electrocuted if he crashed into him. Okay, let's press everything. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny.
So that's why you basically lied to the court.
I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury. Oh, come now. It was a little... To hide a murderer? To hide a suspected murderer? Okay. I mean, I feel like that's accomplice after the fact. Well, we'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. The judge had better be more careful himself. The dark alley is friendlier than that girl. First time was into the electrical pole. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole?
I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yeah, see, it sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
Dougie tried to run away from him.
So, let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched the scene unfold.
What? Miss Fey, I'll have to ask you to stop battering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and
cheer them on. What? Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wish the best for them both and that they would give the fight their all.
What? This is like in a high school where they're like fighting and you have the kids going fight, 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 and then being like, yeah, that's supportive, you know? They're giving it.
And what happened after that?
Feeny caught up, crashed into him from behind. Wait, it couldn't have. Because that's after 3. Right? But the question, I think we can do either or. So we'll present this. Because the cause of death is at 3. But if this took place at 2:55, it wouldn't work. I think we can use that. I'm not sure. Sometimes they'll do multiple things where you can pick one or the other, but I'm not sure if this one's specific. That's enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, they use that. Okay. I wasn't sure which one would work.
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fey? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah! Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Order in the court. What is this all about? This is nonsense. The real murderer? Even you can't deny the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Then who was it? Who are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Fey? Is the defense ready to indict someone as the real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fey. Now then, Miss Fey, let's have it. Who is the real killer? I'm thinking whoever, like, there was a reason that they were here. Let me double check this. The female colleague, okay, that was probably us. I'm thinking Dahlia and Doug were in on something. That's why they were at the court. Dahlia, like, I'm assuming it's some kind of drug, which is in this bottle. Because Doug was going about, don't trust her, don't trust her, don't trust her. I'm definitely, like, I've been on the Dahlia is the killer train for a while. So, yeah. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
What? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to the men dearest to you.
Order, Miss Fey. What? I mean, why? That is to say,
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madam Fey? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fey, this is a very serious charge you are. Is that Phoenix? Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. You? What is this? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record.
What the? Are you daft?
You're totally wrong, Miss Fey. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone.
That boy. He's gotten himself way in over his head. Oh?
Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was hoping for. You'd better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend.
And in 5 years, she'll lose her life. She'll be reunited. It's fine. Also, hopefully no one hasn't watched the first one. Because I am spoiling the first one. But this is I think it's technically the third in the series. I hope. I hope it is. I might be very wrong in that. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, that is I. May I interrupt you for a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand.
That is I. Go right ahead. Madam Fey, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you should let me handle this.
I cannot cry on command. I can't.
Sorry, but please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have anything to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no real reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests she, in fact, had a very good reason. We'll look at it as soon as we get the chance. Very well, the court grants the defense request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. Okay, we'll do it after the witness testimony. Because I don't think we can stop. Oh, we can. Yeah, we'll look at it after.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again, you'll be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. Okay. I want to look at this case file, because we haven't been able to do that yet. Okay, Diego Armando. Suspect was Dahlia Hawthorne. Gested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the person's person. Okay. I wonder if we can press, like, why she was here. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow.
Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me. I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict.
That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madam Fey. After all, Feeny was. Feeny was not only an art student, but he was planning on becoming a lawyer.
But why were you here, Dahlia? I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Fey, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallows' case, I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. We're gonna keep pressing because we literally have proof that she was a suspect while he was interviewing her. I'm pretty sure. We'll press. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
You were writing a paper on what?
On a relationship between modern and new poetry and the criminal underground world.
That Sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old now? I've even forgotten what I've forgotten.
Again with the midlife crisis stuff. Mia, why did that girl really come to the courthouse? Isn't this what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report. I have it. I went through a lot of trouble to get it. I've read it. We're pressing everything. I guess we can use this now.
Objection!
Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fey?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order! 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 This is unbelievable. It's true then that loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorns.
Miss Fey, that's not fair. You can't just slander my witness with an unrelated case.
I, Winston Payne, will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred in that incident 8 months ago.
I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart. Quit talking about your ass. I can hardly tell which is the... I'm not reading that statement.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
I don't know, your boyfriend at the time? So that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up to its sleeves today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Mia, you're glowing with the true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. But we have the poison. The poison that killed him. Met the lawyer who was poisoned, discussed something. What were you talking about with the defense attorney?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger.
Why don't you tell us all about what that incident was?
That has absolutely nothing to do at all with this case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne?
Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign.
Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Oh, Phoenix, please.
Oh, God, those two are really making me ill. Albeit for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone?
I already answered all these questions for the police, but if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes?
And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Fey?
Oh, Beanie, please.
The police have already looked at this whole matter.
This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. But how would you know this? About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? Let me see. My bottle of eye drops says half a fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 then.
The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there.
Let's just press everything. A special kind of poison. How so?
Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh? And where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policemen say. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. The better the question is, how did the criminal get something like that? I don't know, from her boyfriend that worked in pharmacology.
I wouldn't even know where to get a
Poison like that, yeah, you do, your boyfriend. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you, because no one could ever show how you could have gotten the poison.
I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Fey. She's right, and I think we've all done enough of Miss Fey's questions.
So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. And all we have to do is establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. How did she? Her boyfriend. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained high advanced chemical equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table, you. Order! Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless allegation. May I say something, Madam Fey?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. You could have easily gotten rid of something that small, like to your new boyfriend.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
I have your proof. I figured it out like last episode. She got me good with that. Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Fey.
Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia in the entire courthouse. In the 10 minutes, and yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where's the poison?
Take that!
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone who had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Fey?
The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime laboratory had analyzed it, they would find a trace amount. No!
Order in the court.
Objection!
On behalf of Dolly, I object.
Mr. Wright, control yourself.
I won't let you bully her like this.
Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this?
Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you? Sheesh, Mia. Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too.
Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point, in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... Dahlia Hawthorne was not, and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck.
My necklace?
Back there, in the waiting room, you said it yourself.
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me.
Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back just like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying.
But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you meet. That's why she...
I don't believe you. No, that's a lie.
Mia, are you alright? The defendant! He's getting away! Bailiff, hurry! After him! Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy! You were completely insane! Where's Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no.
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? It's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in places are we supposed to do now?
Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it?
Boy.
You what? You ate it.
It was too big to swallow, so I had to...
What the fuck? What is he doing now? Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very...
It took 10 minutes. Roughly 10 minutes. We're assuming. For what's-his-face to die for 2 teaspoons. He had trace amounts. It ain't gonna kick in immediately, dipshit.
As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have any poison left in it.
Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
She's lied like multiple times, though.
Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fey, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Even after I've proved so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright.
I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
There's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. This is so melodramatic. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. The drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
And she told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, this is the defendant is...
Miss Fey, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone.
Miss Fey.
If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back, therefore...
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill?
She was gonna put it into meds.
Take that!
There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Me?
That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it.
As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago.
That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go as far to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria,
Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be.
It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time, but there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean, that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true!
Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne,
it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
you are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack.
Well,
Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be headed home now if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this old nasty old hag to finish up already.
I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price. You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No.
You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Fey. Or should I say, Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Fey, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder.
Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly! Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there's already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you're unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor.
I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she can get the chance to soar.
She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fey, please present your evidence. Show this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
It has to be in the cold medicine, right? Like, that's the only thing that I can think.
It's like we have this.
I think it's in the cold medicine.
Take that!
Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony.
I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us.
She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X.
Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like to recall the court.
Why do I keep saying I would like to recall the court?
I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago.
Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defense and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live.
Why did that go so quickly?
She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago! Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case, Doug Swallow. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Although, granted, that could be, very sus, because it's, usually, a lot of medicines, they'll have, the side effects and, depending on what you're on, that could be, very sus to do. Just take some to get it analyzed. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes?
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Wait, are we still getting prequel stuff? Is this going to be all a prequel? And it's all in Mia's POV? Or is she going to come back like, as we're playing Phoenix Wright. I'm so curious. It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support this outrageous claim.
And even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust this witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see,
Objection!
yes. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done.
God, I kind of love Savage Mia. This is fun. Savage Mia is great.
How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
It's flying off. Wait, was he bald when we went up against him, like, at the very beginning of the whole, like, trilogy? I don't remember. Mr. Payne? About Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, this is the version of him I remember.
I'll file the papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne?
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. The defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true, my dear Dolly. Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court defines the defendant, Phoenix Wright,
Not guilty.
every time I see it, I always think,
He had it coming. He had it coming.
the streamers flowed out as the tears stream. This court is adjourned.
Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought, man,
Please, stop talking about your hemorrhoids for the love of fucking God. Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop?
thank you, Mia.
That's rather rude. You keep bringing up your ass. Stop.
Get some help.
Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with a client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations.
Thanks. I was thinking.
Go on.
That dolly I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her.
What?
Yeah, the dolly I know could have never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something?
Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. I hope we end up getting this and, like, we get to see, like, kind of like Phoenix having to deal with this. I don't know. I feel like that would be really fun. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. We know you're friends, and by friends, I mean the one friend that we know that is definitely sus. What kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. And I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. Why does this make it sound like you're time traveling? I see. Say, Miss Fey. A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday, maybe even in court. I hope this comes back and we're not just like doing the Mia. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Yes! She's gonna come back! Wait, is Phoenix gonna have to represent her? Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. Why does her face look different? Maybe it's just the side. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. That is a story for another day. And that's it for Turnabout Memories. That was so much fun. Okay, that is going to be it for this episode. We will be continuing into more Phoenix Wright next time. I really wish one thing with this, if you go to save, it immediately puts you into the next thing, and it's just a pain. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.